Welcome back to my animal education series. Today I'm here with Ken at the Scovill Zoo. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Good.
Who do we have here?
We have some redneck wallabies here at Scovill Zoo. We have about 6 of them right now, which is a male, 2 moms, a couple offspring, and then 3 offspring.
This guy seems to really enjoy your shoelace.
Yeah, some are more friendly than others, and so this is one of the babies that was born this year, and his mom is also kind of just really laid back and didn't mind being touched by the keepers, and she was hand raised by the keepers, so she really likes them, and so he's just kind of grown into not being afraid of people. So. Very nice, but then the other ones you'll see will kind of keep their distance. They'll hang back, and if we get too close, they'll hop away.
So where can you find these wallabies in the wild?
In the wild, the redneck wallaby you can find in Tanzania, and then as well as Australia, and they're kind of like our deer here in Illinois. So the wallaby is that equivalent to deer, and so they're very common in Australia. And the wallaby is just a small version of the kangaroo. If they're under like 40 inches, they're called wallabies. If they're over that, they're called kangaroos, but it's just kind of the same species.
But what kind of environments do they live in?
Kind of grassy areas, arid areas. They eat a lot of vegetation, so they're looking for the grasses, the leaves, shrubs. They're kind of chewing on a lot of vegetation in that area. I think to me, like the coolest thing about wallabies is just the birth itself. And when the babies are born, they're the size of like a honeybee, and they're just very small, or a wad of gum, that small, but they make that incredible journey from the birth canal up into the pouch. The mom kind of licks a trail of saliva up for them to kind of follow up, and then they go into the pouch, attach themselves to the nipple, and I say they kind of finish baking inside the pouch, for the next 3 or 4 months, and then so they'll actually be born in November, December time frame, but we won't see them until April, May, and you'll start seeing the pouch get bigger, and you start seeing the pouch kicking, and then after a while you'll see the head come out, and it'll be this bald wallaby head sticking its head out of the pouch and looking around, and then after a few more weeks it'll get brave enough to actually start leaving the pouch and hopping back in, and the moms can actually produce 2 different types of milk, one for the toddler wallaby, and then another for a newborn. So if another one was born at that time and attached itself to the nipple, she'd produce a different type of milk than she could for the other one. So that's kind of a cool thing about wallabies too.
It's so cool, like how marsupials work like that, just with the whole pouch.
Yeah,
they're just amazing.
They are. They're just amazing creatures, and very unusual. And that's what I like about animals. Like each animal has something cool and unusual about them.
Looks like this wallaby's going to check out our cameraman over
Yeah, yeah, he'll come check you out. They do have claws, and they can kick. They can kind of balance themselves on the back of their tails and give a good kick, and so if they're being defensive, they'll do that. They have this big claw on their back toe they can use for scratching up grass and vegetation, and for the fighting aspect. If they need to fight and kick with it, it's kind of a bit of a weapon. And they can punch. They do have the claws on their hands they can scratch with. They kind of use their tail as a balancing thing. So even when they're hopping and moving along, their tails kind of help them keep balance, and then when they're just sitting up, it's kind of like making a tripod. It kind of helps keep their balance there as well. So the tail, just about as long as their body is, but very important to them.
Well, I see my cameraman trying to keep the shot still while the
wallaby's chewing the back of his leg. Yeah.
So how fast do these wallabies typically move?
They can really move pretty quickly. They can go maybe up to 20 miles an hour.
Wow.
So they can really go fast, and they can get a lot of height too. A lot of people ask us about the 4-foot fence around the exhibit. Can they hop out? It's like, oh yeah, they could hop out fairly easily if they wanted to. They can go 5-6 feet high, just as the wallaby at this height. And so they have a lot of good spring in their step, obviously, because they're good jumpers, and but they move very fast.
So why do you think they tend to stay in here rather than going out and exploring the tourists over here, for example?
Yeah, it's well, we feed them here. They get their water here. Their friends are here, and so they just kind of are comfortable in this area. We actually have tried to put them in different areas around the zoo, and when we do that, they kind of stand right at the fence and looking back to see what everybody else is doing, and can I get back there? And so is kind of funny. We have tried to put them in different areas to let them graze on some areas that have better grass, and they will for a bit, but then just kind of go back and start looking to see if they can get back over there. So they're just happy here.
Yeah, and they have the trees here. So
awesome shade, a lot of we bring them vegetation to chew on, so they do really well.
I mean, they have this big old patch right here, which just looks really lush right now. So
yeah,
they have that going for them.
They do. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about the redneck wallaby.
Thank you.
And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Instagram @ColeShirk. And as always, I'll see you next week.